Hello, and thank you for stopping by. I am so excited to reveal this kit of carriers here in Sons of Norway, in Life Shield National, in Sentinel Security Life, in Oxford Life, which many of you have seen these carriers in the different homes. Maybe you've seen Trinity Family Benefit and that Golden Eagle Final Expense product that constantly is coming in one of the absolute lowest. They'll accept diabetic neuropathy. What? They are the cheaper version of Royal Neighbors. That is an insurance company and not a fraternal. And so while Royal's a great backup carrier to have, and a lot of you listening in right now, you are writing carriers as your main carrier, which we have as well as a backup situational carrier. So it's not to say that what you're doing is necessarily wrong per se. You just don't have access to these lower tier carriers, which are spectacular carriers. You could not go before the Department of Insurance and tell somebody that that this carrier is not going to pay a claim, and that's why you replaced it. That is called twisting. That is called churning, and you're not allowed legally to do that. And it makes these policies to write with some of the absolute easiest to guard against replacements and chargebacks, simply because it is the lowest priced policy and plan that is out there. And so when you come across these different plans and you hear people talking about adding riders to it, let me tell you something. If someone tried to come in and replace one of these plans by saying that they were going to put living benefits on it, and you told the client, well, Ms. Jones, if you activate those living benefits, your whole $10,000 policy, it's gone. You won't have life insurance anymore, so then you're going to need more life insurance. And so essentially, if it's that important to you, well, maybe you should look at a critical illness plan. And a surety, since 1890, just one of the absolute best in the business, well, they offer a critical illness policy. So if it's that important to you guys, put a critical illness policy. But most of you anyway are twisting and turning that to make the client believe that they get both, that they get a living benefit and they get to keep their death benefit. So let's be honest about that. Oxford Life coming in at the #1 overall carrier. I would have to say, if all things are even, you're going to have to write many Life Shield and many Sons of Norway and many Sagicor No Lapse Universal Life in order to get a replacement. But if all things are even, that instant decision e-application through Oxford is one of the best in the absolute business. You got to throw American Amicable's e-app up there. It's super cool. You can do it right on your cell phone. It's great. Like a lot of these other, you can do it on your cell phone. But American Amicable, guys, a lot of you are writing this as a main carrier. Folks, this is a backup smoking carrier. Why? Because they come in on average $12, $14 higher than this entire tier of carriers. Look at the underwriting questions of Oxford. 23 questions compared to a Mutual of Omaha's 24. They're going to ask 2-year look back on cancer, 2-year look back on the heart. They're going to take diabetic with insulin, and they're going to take neuropathy if there's no diabetes. And so as long as there's no neuropathy, they'll take the diabetes with the insulin, as long as there's no diabetes diagnosed prior to age 30. And so Oxford just takes a lot of conditions, and so just a carrier that you can count on to approve more than they're going to decline, as long as you say no to those questions. And of course, everything checks out with what the client's telling you. They are going to be really the way to go. However, final expensers for ages 16 to 65, you have to reprogram your brain to someone who is healthy and says, I'm good, I don't have anything. You've got to reprogram your brain to look at the No Lapse Universal Life with Sagicor, which is going to pay you almost as much. It's a haircut, absolutely, but by far for $25,000 up to $400,000 with an e-application, the very lowest price for the client. And there's actually a way on the 6th year, guys, to lower that premium down $20, $50, $100+ a month at year 6, and instead of it being locked into the $121 for that initial premium, age 121, nothing can change. It's like 99% like a whole life policy. If at year 6, you can adjust that to lower that guarantee down into the 90s, right? 91, 96, 97. And so you can do that, lower that premium in year 6 in most equations, and there is nobody even coming close on the whole life scale, not Sons of Norway, not Life Shield. So Sagicor, No Lapse Universal Life, that has to be on your mind since 1840. This is an A-rated carrier. This incredible at that part. Life Shield is a product that I have heard bashed over and over again. And folks, you have to understand these carriers are not used. These carriers are shunned because they do not have as high of a commission level at the top as these other carriers do. And so this is a carrier you absolutely have to have. The e-app is only for the iPad. There is a first application on paper that does need to be completed first. This is a joint survivor life policy that you're able to put both folks on. And so, or you could just write it regular, one person, just like you do with all the other carriers. And this carrier is going to have, for smokers, they're even lower than the Eagle Premier Quit Smoking Plan. They are just, even for non-smokers, going to come in the lowest possible option, especially on males when you're cranking that premium up to around 15,000 plus, ages 60 and up. This is a 45 to 85 year product, and you're able to just really create some huge space here. 20, 25, $30 a month. And like many of you have come across, oh, we work with virtually the lowest carriers out there, Miss Betty. Okay, and who is it you said you had your insurance with? And when she finally takes it out, boom, $30 a month lower, and you're over here just with your foot in your mouth. And most of you know what you're doing. You're trying to discredit the company and you're trying to get people to pay more. But there's a lot of you doing the right thing and just saying, oh, you know what? You already have a whole life plan. That's a fine plan that you've got right there. It's definitely going to pay. Looking at Sentinel Security Life here, this is a quirky. It has 5 years on the heart. It is a 5-year look back on the heart. But they are a carrier that if you can find the 70% of people you sit with that can answer no to that, this is a plan that's going to take insulin up to 50 units, and they're going to pay one of the highest final expense commissions that are out there alongside a lot of the other ones, but they're going to give you your highest renewal at that RD level. And so many of you are coming in and qualifying for that level off the get-go. This is a 10% renewal for 5 years. This is a way to generate serious income where right now you've written the same amount of business, likely with more expensive carriers on average of $10, $11, $12, $14, $15 more expensive than Sentinel Security Life. Right now, you're getting a fraction, if not half roughly, of that 10% renewal that's right there. And so, hey, look, Life Shield, even on their top level, they're going to pay 10% on the second year as well. And so, folks, these carriers are just the carriers that they're not that much different. Sentinel is telesales capable. It's an e-app. You can do it right on your cell phone. You call in with a voice signature. It gives you a PIN. You create a PIN. You enter that PIN for the client. And then, of course, right, you're able to just do the voice signature prompted by a computer for the client to sign that. Oxford's going to be that e-app signature. So, they want a face-to-face. Life Shield is a face-to-face on their e-app as well. And so each carrier is a little bit different that you have to figure out and you have to learn, but it's no different than any of the carriers that you work with right now. What is it you are working for? Why do you write the carriers that you write? In fact, why are you with the group that you're with? It took a long time. The overall consensus of the independent agents that we're working with, really just agents that do this as a career, they do not want a conference call. They want to be with their family. They don't need additional calls to get any better at selling insurance. And the teams that they have, they don't need that either. They do different things. They do all the other things that people do on communication and text together. That's what they do. They spend that time doing that. We train one-on-one. Personally, we have the training on our websites. We have training in scripts. We have our Dropbox. We have all these different trainings of real nuts and bolts training that you can go to. Not a page of 40 videos where you don't even know where to go. We have a overcoming objections folder. We have a presentation folder. With the presentation, we have a live audio presentation of what a live one sounds like. We have the script to go along with it. The things that absolutely matter. How do you approach a lead, right? Be it mortgage protection, be it final expense. And so how do you do these things? How do you overcome objections? How do you get in the door? How do you get a bank info? What do you say when the client says, I want to think about what? And those are the things that absolutely matter. And so all of the other things that you are doing with your groups right now, I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying that they are not needed, not necessary. And the only reason that this works is because as direct IMOs with most of these companies, I went in and said, look, I am going to give every insurance agent that we partner with the best that I possibly can to make these lower top-level commission carriers that have been shunned due to that very reason. Competitive to get these seniors, to get these people that we are seeing the very best for what it is. You've seen a surety flashed over and over with the HMS and the TLE going up against for term life, 20 and 30-year return of premium. Are you kidding me? You're going to get $250,000, what the HMS charges for that, and a surety is going to do $500,000 on an EAP non-med for $150 lower than their $250? How could you ever sell that product again and not think about the whole time someone who's going to come in with that beluga whale and just swallow you whole? And now, what if, God forbid, the person passes away and you've gotten them, $250? It's definitely more of a product that's going to, of course, the focus on it just being not the death benefit, getting the cash back. But you understand that the cash comes back. It's an older company. It's the same rating, an A-rated company, 1890. Assurity's been in business since. So, right, fantastic companies, ladies and gentlemen. We are choosing from the best. We hope that you will get on board. I hope you reach out personally to me, and we're the folks who are going to be there underwriting, helping you, getting you with this quoting tool, getting you set up or assisted. Anytime you're with a client, you can call from the home, you can message, you can text, and you're going to have somebody available helping you, making sure that what really matters, you making those sales, you having leads constantly. In terms of leads, we have access to virtually all the leads that everybody else has access to that are out there, be it direct mail, which I absolutely recommend, the fixed direct mail lead for $30, brand new, fresh. You're going to get them in 5 weeks. Companies out there that have 2 months. Why does it take 2 months to get mail that you can get in 5 weeks? Ladies and gentlemen, when the smoke goes away and the clears and you understand that these events are not needed, not only are they not needed, you're watching the same people rotate at these events and all the new faces and who are these people, and that's when it hits you that this is a revolving door company. Why? It's because people are hearing about bigger, they're hearing about better, and when you have and offer the best, ladies and gentlemen, most folks you speak with out there have never seen these carriers. They don't know what it is that you're saying, but it makes sense because the ideology of the Fiduciary Life Brokers was not founded on some plan to get rich with carriers. There's no catchphrase like you need true Social Security billing to sell whole life insurance. There's nothing like that other than enter in the age, enter in the coverage amount, and match the health and write what is very best for this client. Folks, this ideology is contagious. Our methodology of getting people free medications. That's right, free medications for any expensive. Look, these inhalers you come across, they are $60, $70, $200, $300 each. We get them to them for free in almost every occasion. And so we have 50% off dental services. We are benefit coordinator type positions, not just an insurance salesperson, although you could do whatever it is that you like. We have all these tools in order to get you in front of these clients most effectively. Come see what we're all about. Reach out to myself. Let's get you set up and earning more money and capturing more renewal business than you ever have. Thank you for taking the time. This is Jason Baines.